Imagine this. It's 11:47 p.m. You stand in the soft glow of your refrigerator light, holding a carton of milk. The date reads, "Best before yesterday." You stare at it for a moment. It smells fine. It looks fine. But something in your head whispers, "Don't risk it." So you pour it down the sink. The sound of that splash is the sound of profit. Because in that moment, without realizing it, you just did exactly what the food industry designed you to do. That tiny moment, that flick of hesitation, isn't random. It's one of the most successful psychological tricks ever printed. A few black numbers on white paper, capable of making billions in profit. Expiration dates. The first thing they don't tell you. Expiration dates are not laws of safety, they're opinions of freshness. In the United States, the FDA doesn't even regulate them. Only one product legally requires an expiration date: baby formula. Everything else, milk, cereal, bread, even meat, follows manufacturer preference. In other words, the company selling the product decides when you'll stop trusting it. It began in the 1970s, when grocery chains like Safeway and Kroger wanted a way to appear modern and trustworthy. They called it open dating, a simple, consumer-friendly idea, but quietly, it became a marketing weapon, because a customer who throws food away early buys it again sooner. That fear isn't accidental. It's profitable. So here is how it all began. By the late 1970s, psychologists were hired by ad agencies to test how typography affected perceived safety. Numbers printed in black on white triggered authority bias, a subconscious obedience response, similar to medical prescriptions. The same mechanism that makes you follow, "Take one pill daily," now tells you, "Throw it away after this date." Dr. Brian Wansink, a Cornell consumer psychologist, later confirmed, the more official a label looks, the stronger the fear of contamination, even when none exists. Expiration labels turned instinct into obedience. Expiration dates are rarely about bacteria or decay. They measure perceived quality, color, smell, texture, or crunch. Studies by the Harvard Food Law and Policy Clinic revealed that products like yogurt, cereal, and eggs remain safe for weeks or months after their so-called expiration. Even milk lasts 5 to 7 days beyond its printed date if stored properly. But the industry won't tell you that, because it collapses the illusion. Sell by, best before, use by, display until. 4 terms, 4 meanings, all designed to sound scientific. So when you throw away yogurt, rice, or canned beans because of that date, you're not protecting your health. You're protecting corporate sales. Veolia, one of the world's largest waste management companies, earns millions annually processing expired retail goods. Even the destruction of unsold food is monetized. Every part of the system feeds itself. A factory that runs on the illusion of freshness. Some governments promise to reduce waste by 20% by 2030. Some U.S. retailers, like Trader Joe's and Whole Foods, now train staff to assess spoilage by smell and appearance, not dates. And startups like Mimica in the UK create bioreactive labels that sense actual decay. But for every reformer, 10 factories still hum. Because illusion is scalable. Every year, 1.3 billion tons of food are wasted. a third of all we produce. Enough to feed 2 billion people. And while entire nations starve, first world countries dump mountains of untouched food. Because a number said so. According to the UN Environment Program, food waste produces 8 to 10% of global greenhouse emissions, more than all commercial aviation combined. A significant fraction comes from premature disposal tied to expiration dates. Yet the industry never changes it, because every discarded item resets demand. The machine thrives on emptiness. So, what is the solution? So quiet rebellion is growing. Grassroots movements like Too Good To Go and Olio connect people directly with expired but safe products. Countries like Norway and Sweden are experimenting with dual labeling, best before and often good after. Science is finally aligning with instinct again. We are relearning how to trust the nose, the tongue, the eye, the ancient sensors we were born with. France made it illegal to destroy edible expired food in 2016. Denmark's We Food markets thrive on selling expired goods at half price. In 2021, Walmart partnered with ReFed to study how smarter date labeling could cut waste by 10%. But progress is slow, because confusion still sells better than clarity. Now, it doesn't matter what they are doing. What you call fresh is not about flavor or health. It's about logistics rhythm, a synchronized dance between supply and fear. The label isn't a warning, it's a metronome for profit. The factory never stops, it just moves the clock. That clock on your carton doesn't measure time. It measures obedience. It tells you when to fear, when to discard, when to buy again. And every time you listen, you feed the most profitable illusion in the history of food. In the end, the next time you stand before that fridge light and a carton whispers that its time is up, pause, smell it, taste it. Decide for yourself, because that quiet act of defiance, that second of awareness, is more powerful than any regulation, any label, any system. For decades, they printed dates to control your instincts. Now, the rebellion is to feel again. Freshness was never theirs to define. It was always yours to perceive. If you've watched this far, thank you very much for your attention. See you in the next video.